Hi everyone, my name's Chris Rutland from Pioneer Seeds. I'm the Territory Manager for the Western Downs, and today I've got with me Andrew Turner, agronomist from Dalby Rural Supplies in Dalby, and we're at a crop just north of Dalby of P17822 IT, which is one of our new full season maturity corns. It's got a dual purpose usage where growers have the ability to either take it for feed grain or even take it for high quality silage. So it's the first year out this year, and I've just got Andrew with me today to chat about the crop, but also because this crop was planted in summer of 2026, I was keen just to get Andrew's thoughts with regard to fall armyworm management, particularly for a summer grown crop. So thanks for your time, Andrew.
No worries at all.
Just really keen to get your thoughts around growing corn in summer, mate.
Yeah, so it's probably gone by the way a little bit, the summer corn, the last couple of years. People nervous about fall armyworm, but definitely learnt this year that even with the pressure and how high they were, they definitely can be managed, and corn can certainly be a good option for summer regarding water and things like that. So certainly need to stay on top of it and manage it correctly, but certainly an option for the summer, yeah.
So what would you consider your management tactics being different between a spring plant and a summer plant?
Yeah, well, especially on this farm, them having cotton as well, I'm here quite a bit in the summer, so just constant being in the crop, monitoring even the moths, any of those egg lays, just being on top of it early for the fall armyworm, and also having the water to push the crop along, I think. It certainly showed, yeah.
So if a grower was considering summer growing corn, from an inputs point of view, what would you consider growers put in their budgets for summer growing versus, say, spring growing, for example?
You definitely want to allow the extra sprays. I think in the spring you're probably looking at 1 to 3, maybe 4, depending on the pressure in the spring, where realistically you've got to sort of allow, worst case, 4 to 5 sprays in the summer. It could certainly be better, but what we found this year is, we did put on 4 on this crop, and got them under control, but want to allow at least that many, yeah.
So I guess prepare for the worst, but sometimes the best can happen, and you may end up with 1 or 2, maybe even none, depending on the pressure as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. And they definitely did ease off. So yeah, the pressure did back off. So other years, well and truly, you could have less. As it got a bit cooler, they certainly eased off.
Yeah, great. And so from a management point of view, practically, in terms of physically applying insecticides, what are your thoughts around the type of chemistry used and also the type of machinery you might need?
Yep. Yeah, so there is, I guess with the fall armyworm, there is a few options on chemistry, which is good now. So our options to rotate and from resistance point of view is really good. The biggest thing we found was water rate. Yeah, that water rate is key, and also luckily these fellas are pretty on the ball with spraying the corn, so they were spraying it pretty well a couple of days at most after I sort of recommended them being sprayed. But yeah, we sort of just rotated between the different lots of chemistry on what we can use in the corn, and it managed to do really quite a good job.
And so when the crop is quite small, would you consider banded spraying to try and reduce costs if that's an option?
Yeah, no, definitely would. I think what we found is, just that coverage over the row. We did do it broad acre just on the boom setup, but I think if we could have, just to reduce cost and do it over that row and get that chemical down into the whirl, well and truly would be an option, yeah.
Yep. Great. So in the coming season, 2026-27 season, Fortenza Duo from Syngenta is being released. That's a seed treatment that's applied to the seed, and it will give coverage of the crop up until sort of 14 to 21 days, depending on growth dilution. Do you consider that a new option or a new tool on the tool belt to assist with management?
Yeah, definitely. I think this crop, with how fast it sort of grew and how heavy the pressure was early, I think having a bit of an option there to give us some sort of protection early before we then started spraying would be a great option. Yeah, certainly would, and it'd just give us probably a little bit more comfortable with that early plant. So yeah.
So with regard to crop monitoring and I guess timely treatments, if treatment is necessary, what are your tips there around management and proactiveness of checking and monitoring, mate?
Yeah, look, I think the moths for me, the moths this year in the summer plant, it was, yeah, they were pretty thick. So I think once you started to pick up them, I didn't have any moth traps or anything in, but just you just could find them in the corn, and it was pretty easy. And as soon as you had them, you knew an egg lay was coming, and just being on top of them as soon as we could. I think, yeah, you had to be ready to go. Would be my advice. Is once you knew the moths were there, yeah, don't be afraid to get into it. So
right. And so if that pressure's building and there's a weather change coming and there's a possibility you may not be able to get on the paddock, is it, you know, a good idea to be ahead of the curve and trying to be possibly treating a little bit earlier rather than leaving it?
Yeah, definitely. I think this happened with this paddock in particular. There was a bit of weather coming and we went slightly earlier, and so we could use the ground rig instead of having to use the plane. So we certainly did go slightly earlier than I was probably planning on, but it just grows so fast as well. So we were definitely glad we did. Yeah.
So with regard to actual crop management from a water and nutrition point of view, do you feel as though when you were getting some pressure here early in the crop, just pre-tassel, do you feel like good water management and nutrition is a key factor to try and mitigate that risk and grow out of the pressure that when the fall armyworm do put on you?
Yeah, definitely. I think you see on a couple of areas on the edges of the field where don't get watered that well or didn't get fert that well. By far the pressure it just nailed them. Where anywhere the nutrition and water was good, it just powered away from it, especially in the summer plant where this obviously grows very fast. It could certainly keep growing away from the damage, that's for sure.
Yeah, nice. So is there any other thoughts, any other tips and things that you may have learnt from this last season with this crop in terms of managing fall armyworm and the option for growers to utilise corn in the rotation going forward?
Yeah, it's good. I think we want the option of summer corn because with water management and all those sorts of, we're not sure when we're going to get water at times. So I think we definitely want it as an option. I just be vigilant with it, just stay on top of it, and if there's plenty of pressure early, but don't panic. And it does get, as soon as we got to tassel, they eased off, and you know the hard work was sort of done, and we just had to get the crop home. So just don't panic and stay on top of them, basically. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time. I would like to thank the McVeigh Partnership for hosting us, particularly this crop this year. Andrew giving his tips and thoughts on managing the crop in summer. And if you are thinking about growing summer corn in the future, there's this hybrid P17822 IT, which is new this season, or other hybrids that we have available as well, both for processing market, feed market, also silage market. But getting in touch with your local agronomist like Andrew for a chat. But also the Pioneer Seeds team across the nation. If you're considering corn in your rotation, give them a call, and thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks, Andrew.
Perfect. No, thank you. Cheers.